For every city you burn, I'm gonna build one high.
Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and it is March 2nd, YC125, and this is the Eve Universe Show. How's it going, guys? Hey, that's not right. Hold on. Yay! How's it going, guys? 07 to you all. It's good to see you. It's been a week. So, before we get too deep into it, I just want to say, because I had to rush off last time, my son is totally fine. We did take him to the doctor. He was diagnosed with hand, foot, and mouth disease, which I thought was really bad until I looked it up, and it's just basically a cold with a rash, in essence. It is very contagious, but, you know, whatever. So we kept him home. There is snow days. It's all been kind of a blur. My son forgot what school looked like. So this morning, of course, it was an absolute disaster to try to get him ready for school finally. Because him deciding that he didn't want to go to school has worked so well for like the last week and a half. But he's fine. So far, knock on wood, I have gotten no calls from the from the school. So... hi! But in the meantime, CCP decided to take pity on me and just decide to not put out anything of any importance during that time, in spite of the fact that we were all expecting it. So on the one hand, making me look kind of silly for getting everybody ready to go, and on the other hand, I was able to put out videos. I don't know, whatever. Speaking of videos, I put out the second in the latest world news yesterday. Put that one out. And then today, as soon as this stream is over, we will go directly from the stream to the premiere of the new edited version of the latest world news. Please explain how to run this new EVE Online event. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Actually, I think we're going to talk about that for sure. It's worth noting that the event is not live yet. In fact, spoilers, we are actually on Singularity right now because CCP just patched it yesterday, with some additional stuff that might be useful or at least juicy when it comes to the event. So we're going to look at those first, and some other stuff, and then we can either go do some exploration in the war zone or talk more about Celis Agard's backstory. I'm going to kind of let you guys decide at that point. But any ideas why they're giving mining dailies lately? So, yeah. Is it not live? Damn, I mined Veldspar for nothing. We're going to get there. Which one do we want to jump into first? Let's jump into... Oh, there's so much going on. I think we can begin with the newest dev blog, and that'll kind of lead us a little bit into the event. I don't know. I'm going to answer what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to start off by saying that at this point, I've come to the belief that something has delayed the event. Now, probably not by much, right? And I have some theories as to what it was, but, you know, we had the splash screen appear on Tranquility. We had the splash screen appear on Singularity. We had, you know, we have the mining stuff appearing now. It's just, we had one of the CCP tweeted a picture of them in the skin from the event that isn't available yet. I get the feeling, like in general, they thought that the faction campaign was going to be started by now. One thing that I've been asking myself and our group has been asking each other a lot is like, if CCP was going to have the event start this late, why not just have done the Guardians Gala? If the event wasn't going to start during the course of the Guardians Gala, why not just have done the Guardians Gala like normal? Now, hopefully we will eventually get that answer, but I think that all of these things kind of go into the idea that chances are something got a little bit delayed. Now, that's not a bad thing. Software development is hard. Bugs get found. Things don't pass QA, and I much rather them make sure that the system works well than put it out on timeline, especially since they haven't literally given us a timeline. The other thing about this is that, like, this event seems very much tied to the release of direct enlistment. So I feel like that project, which has obviously been a big one, like, is a prerequisite of them starting this event. So because of that, So what's the status of the event? Well, earlier, I think it was this week, or no, it was last week, they patched the event information to Tranquility. So in theory, the event could start at any time. However, a lot of the rats, the NPCs used in the event, still use default icons and other things like that. So they need to patch it at least once more. And even looking at what, yesterday, they actually patched Singularity to add more information to the event and to other things, which is why we're on Singularity first today to look at it. And some of the changes that were added to there give credence to that idea that this is all kind of one big thing, which is why it's taking a little while for it to come out. Downtime, there was a small patch. Yeah, however, that small patch appears... So what they have done is, if you go on Tranquility, you go to ammo and... Mehador. If you go to Ammo and Mehador, now those two sites have tons of new construction yards. I think Ammo has 9 construction sites now, when like 2 days ago it had 2. So a lot of the stuff that was put into the patch live today was new structures and names for that build out. Meanwhile, what was added to Singularity is more of the build out for the event itself. Is there any information about what factions want to do with the Stellar Transmuter? Yes. I have a previous video called Shadow War, which is supposed, I believe is being edited right now by Danny, but we will be going over some of this stuff probably today. But the short of it is that the Caldari have reverse engineered some Triglavian transporter technology, and the Amar have reverse engineered transmuter technology. And so the Empires are attempting to combine these two technologies to have a transmuter power a device known as a shipcaster that will allow them to project their ships into the war zone regardless of Sino. So what I believe this is going to be is become like a place for faction warfare groups to go to their headquarters and then use the shipcaster to bring themselves to wherever the battlefield currently is. So one of the things that I find really interesting about the shipcaster technology, though, and one of the questions that I have and will be important to ask as we go through this entire process, is the stellar transmuters are 4 jumps away from the location of the shipcaster. If the stellar transmuters are literally powering the shipcaster, how? What about the transmuter is powering the shipcaster if they're that far apart? Is there something resonant about it? Or is it, as it's most likely, that they're extracting Isogen 5 from the planet with the stellar transmuter and then carting it to the other system to use it in the in the shipcaster to teleport things? I digress. Enough rabbit holing, enough tinfoiling. Let's look at things. We're going to first look at the actual announcements from today. The Mosaic Project. Okay, so a mosaic is a picture made out of pictures. Some time ago, Kriba and Razarin, I don't even remember when they did this, made these pictures, okay? So these pictures were made, and if they look pretty cool. You know, these are old pictures of the EVE trailers, or of the EVE expansions, right? But if you take any of these pictures and you click on it, and then you zoom in, if you keep zooming in, you'll notice that actually each of these pictures is made up of actual portraits of the players at the time of the game. This was just a cool thing that people did in the early days of EVE because, you know, Kriba was pretty cool. And so that is what they're referencing there. So in the spirit of that, what they want to do is, as part of the EVE Online's 20th anniversary celebrations, we want to pay tribute to EVE community and encapsulators by composing an amazing mosaic. The characters you have created, the stories you have lived, and the communities you have built from the fabric of New Eden and the universe which players enjoy today. Starting today, you will all have the opportunity to add your character portrait to the mosaic, whether you are an alpha or omega capsuleer. To immortalize your character on the mosaic, you will need to log into EVE Online and complete 3 daily challenges between the 2nd of March and the 22nd of March. So that's begun today. These challenges will alternate between the Skilling Spree, which is killing NPCs, Mining Blitz, which is mining ore, and Skillers in the Abyss, which is doing the Abyss. The opportunity to add your avatar to this historic tapestry is not to be missed and will be a piece of cake for a capsuleer. Those of you that successfully complete the challenges and qualify for the mosaic will receive an email confirmation within a few days, but make sure you are subscribed to the email list to see it. Okay, so what they're saying is that for the next 20 days, if you do, they will have daily challenges just like they normally do. But instead of just being Skilling Spree, it's going to be Skilling Spree, Mining, and Abyss. One of those 3. And it looks like it'll rotate maybe? I don't know. I don't know what alternate between 3 things necessarily means. But you have to do that daily task 3 out of those 20 days. And if you succeed, then that character will be added to this mosaic. Okay? That's what they're saying. So that's why there's mining challenges right now. Because that's one of the 3 things that can come up. Okay? This is just the beginning, with many more special moments yet to come as celebrating Capsuleer's impact on New Eden. Capsuleer Day in May, FanFest 2023, which promises to be a birthday bash of the century, and even more throughout the year. See you in space, on the Mosaic, and at FanFest. Great, cool. All right. So, again, I have a couple of other videos already where we've talked about this a lot in depth, but excuse me, hold on. All right, I'm here. Okay. So basically, in the previous event, the Amar and the Mimitar successfully researched the stellar transmuter, and the Caldari successfully researched the transportation technology. So, in the upcoming event, you will have to steal from the other empires their research, such that you can accumulate both of your own. So Amar and Mimitar will have to steal from the Caldari. The Caldari will have to steal from the Amarr Minmatar, and the Gallente will have to steal from any of the three. Well, the Caldari and either the Minmatar and or the Amarr to get their 2 tech. And then once that's done, then and only then can you begin the process of actually building the shipcaster. So that's what we knew last time, and we had some speculations about it and the sites and all that stuff, but we have a lot more information now. So there are 3 different sites. There's a combat site, there's a salvage site, and there is a data site. There's no news article about this, right? Not yet. Okay, good. So these are the things that were added in today, but we can look at some of the stuff that was added in before. And we'll do that real quick, and then we'll jump into the other thing. Come on. The amendments. Okay. Here we go. After the discovery of an abandoned and decloaked Edencom station above the planet of Althanoon 5 and the subsequent revelation of extensive Triglavian facilities on the surface of the Storm Planet, both the Caldari State and the Gallente Federation mobilized their loyal Capsuleer militias with the aim of gaining control over these facilities and any secrets held within. Both empires called their loyalist Capsuleers to assist them by gaining factional warfare control over the Althanoon system and the rest of the Surthud constellation. They also asked Capsuleers to probe down captured Triglavian relay facilities to obtain the relay research data contained within. Just as they had with their beginning in Edencom station discovery in late June to YC-124, the forces from the Caldari State, Gallente Federation, Triglavian Collective clashed in Althanoon and nearby systems. Capsuleers aligned with the Caldari State demonstrated their incredible devotion and combat prowess, maintaining effective control over the whole Surthud constellation for multiple consecutive weeks. Thanks to the assistance of their Capsuleers, the Caldari completed their new Stargate connection between Samanundi and Althanoon on YC-124-10-11. The Gallente aligned forces were prevented from completing their Althanoon Stargate. The Gallente were later able to repurpose the Mignon Gate of their partially constructed connection and redirect it to the Intaki system after the Federation Navy liberated that system in the invasion of YC-124-11-8. Just as they had with their Stargate construction efforts, the Caldari line Capsuleers amazed all observers with the intensity and coordination of their combined efforts on behalf of the state. The Caldari Relay Research Project had collected enough data to complete preliminary developments by YC-124-10-28. Only 17 days after they captured relay facilities became visible. The Caldari pilots also maintained such firm control of the constellation as data sites that they were able to prevent the Gallente Federation rivals from obtaining a full set of relay research data. Then, beginning with the initial activation of the first prototype stellar transmitter in Turner on September YC-21. No, hold on. Using reverse engineered technology obtained from the Triglavian Das Porvitium transmitter captured in the Arshat system during the Triglavian invasion of YC-122, the Amarr Empire began constructing prototype stellar transmitter facilities in the faction warfare warzone systems of Turner, Egmar, and Vard. Both the Amarr Empire and Minmatar Republic made control over these nearby systems. These and nearby systems a priority in order to gain effective understanding of the Triglavian-derived stellar transmitter technology. Loyal Capsuleers were asked to assist with factional warfare system control and collection of stellar research data from hidden observatory data hubs throughout the constellation. Beginning with the initial activation of the first prototype stellar transmitter in Turner in September YC-124, forces of the Empire and Republic struggled for control of the transmitter systems and nearby data sites. Both sides fought violently and recovered large volumes of stellar research data. Amar-aligned capsuleers managed to take the lead in Imperial research project completed on YC-124-1101. By the way, I want to point out, the Caldari completed their research project in YC-124-1028, and the Amar completed theirs in YC-124-1101, which means that the Caldari completed their gate construction and their research project before anyone else even finished the research project. On YC-124-1102, after weeks of increasing stellar instability, the Turner system experienced an extreme stellar event which completely destroyed the Amar-controlled stellar transmitter and devastated the planet of Turner 1 and the nearby Republic Parliament Station. Spurred by this catastrophe, Mimitar-aligned capsuleers rapidly completed the Republic's research project a few days later on YC-124-1105. Thanks to the effort of the Mimitar engineers and the opportunity to learn from their observations of the Turner catastrophe, the prototype stellar transmitters under the Mimitar control and Vard and Egmar systems were safely shut down, averting risk to further disasters. Okay. Now, let's bring this home. The four great empires of New Eden are racing to develop and construct their first interstellar shipcasters. Massive structures capable of launching allied pilots across space and giving them a decisive edge in the conflict over low-sec war zones. Building and operating these shipcasters will require mastery of two Triglavian-derived technologies. Novel transportation relay technology, discovered by the Triglavian facilities on the storm planet of Athenoon 5, and advanced stellar transmuter technology that was reverse engineered from Triglavian Das Profetium transmuters and recently tested in Vard, Egmer, and Turner, with devastating consequences in the later case. Each empire has requested capsuleer supports to obtain the research data required to complete their understanding of both technologies, and then assemble the shipcaster structures powered by nearby stellar transmuters within their territory so that they can use them to provide their militias with a significant mobility advantage in factional warfare. And so far, the two stellar transmitters that have begun construction are within 4 jumps of the HQ systems, which are where the shipcasters are being built. Whew. Are we all... Do we understand yet? Okay. Now then. There are 3 different sites. There is a data node site. There is a courier. And there is a besieged laboratory. Okay? The data site, data node, is restricted to T1 and Navy faction frigates. That means no Asteros. That means no pacifiers. None of that. And inside there will be data nodes to hack. Everyone who goes inside will get a suspect timer, and there are rats that spawn. Next is the couriers, which are able to be entered by T1 and faction destroyers. No T2 destroyers, but T2 frigates. These are going to be salvage sites, so you fight off all of the rats, and then you salvage the wrecks. And then the besieged laboratory, which simply says T1 faction battle cruisers and smaller ships. Hostile ships appear to be active inside. Unknown what kind of target it is besides just straight up combat. Okay? So, yeah, as they say here, combat, salvaging, hacking, and industry gameplay. On my Twitter, I posted... Where is it? No? I didn't? Okay. Fine. Whatever. There's a splash screen. I took a picture of it yesterday, and now there's no evidence of it, and I think I might be going mad. How's that possible? Where'd I post it? Oh, I posted it to Reddit. Whatever. So this is the splash screen for it. It says, Shipcaster Shadow War, new faction campaign. The Four Empires race to build interstellar shipcasters. Choose your side and infiltrate enemy territory to steal research. Combat, salvaging, hacking, and industry gameplay. Okay, cool. So this is kind of what we knew already. It was Reddit. Thank you. Okay. So if we go head back to Hobo Leaks and we look at what was added today. No, yesterday. Even more strings. So we get some cool things in here. Some corrections. Here we go. This data core, well, actually, we'll look at those in just a second. So here we have some more descriptions. It says, this is obviously in regards to the, actually, this is the salvage sites. So it says you can find these sites within the faction warfare warzone systems controlled by Amar, Mimitar, as well as with the high-sec systems in Kasana, Ryra, Tiat, and Ani constellations. And this is for the salvage module one, the salvaging one. And salvage drones do not work. You have to kill the rats. There are bad guys. And it causes a suspect timer. So it can be done within this within the systems in faction warfare held by those guys, as well as these specific high-sec systems or constellations. But even in those high-sec constellations, people will still get suspect flags. So it'll be free fire. Next, and then for the ones on the Caldari side, you have the Ikonin and the Minin constellation. Yeah, and this is, yeah, so this is the Salvager one. This is the Combat one. You destroy and loot the research lab in this one. You salvage stuff. So you salvage transport relay data cores. You destroy research labs to get research fragments. And where's the hacking one? Salvager. Combat. Data analyzer. Here we go. So, this gives you it just says the valuable items found within can reconstruct. The other ones say specifically what it is. Oh well. So let's look at what we're looking at here, okay? So we can tell that these are all the faction warfare constellation or like areas. Or all three of them are going to be the faction warfare area and also those constellations, okay? So let's look real quick. Oops. At the Minin constellation. Which is next to Ikonin. Yeah, so this is Caldari, right? Yeah. Yep. And then Ikonin involves Samanuni. Yeah, okay. So these are both the Caldari Highsec. So the Gallente Highsec doesn't have any systems because they don't have any tech to steal from. The other ones all have constellations listed because they have tech to steal from. Okay, so let's look at what we got here. So, it's not showing. Hold on. Okay. Here are the blueprints. We have the Stellar Transmuter Data Core blueprint and the Transport Relay Data Core blueprint. So these two things, the Transport Relay Data Core and the Stellar Transmuter Data Core, this data core contains a reconstructed portion of the accumulated research data, technical data gathered by those empires, blah, 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 blah. In order to catch up with the Amar Mimitar loyalists of the Caldari state should deposit such data cores at the State Stellar Research Center in Onamon, while pilots loyal to the Gallente Federation could deposit the data cores at the Federal Stellar Research Center in Intaki. Cool. And as we can see, each of them require these three things: Stellar Transmuter Research encryption keys, research data fragments, and index files. They all have the same description. And we learned that, hold on. Transport relay. Hold on. Where was it? Did I just go crazy and it doesn't say which one's which? I thought for sure we read earlier which one was which one dropped from which. Did I just misread it? All right, fine. Hold on. Let's do this. Encryption key. Nope. It doesn't say which one comes from where. That I can see. Yep. Okay. Disregard that. Okay, so as I was saying, you have these three different materials that come from three different sites that are all available in those empires, faction warfare, and nearby constellations. In addition to that, it requires pyrite, which is pretty easy to get high-sec material, and noxium, which is a low-sec material. In addition to that, it requires recursive computing modules. Recursive computing modules, I had open, are from PI. Where is it? There it is. And we can see that, where is it? Oh, recursive computing module. So it's a tippy top PI product. So does it require all of the different planets? No. Aha. No, that doesn't work. Either way. So you can see that you need to have those different products. You need to have aqueous liquids, base metals, carbon compounds, microorganisms, noble gas, noble metals, non-CS crystals, and planetic colonies and suspended plasmas, and have those filter up in different amounts to build recursive computing modules, which are then used to build the stellar transmuters. So, yeah. It's also worth noting that right now these things are listed as being pretty cheap comparatively to other things. This could potentially be a decent market opportunity for some people based on what this is, because anytime something goes from being not really used to suddenly being incredibly valuable, that is an opportunity. But yeah. The other thing that I saw that I wanted to pull out is this string right here. Oops. Really? You are about to allow your corporation members to join faction warfare with factions. Are you sure you want to apply these settings? So what this is one of the reasons why I believe that this is all tied in together, because this really feels like this string directly ties into direct enlistment. So what this suggests is a corporation, rather than being 100% in a faction warfare, militia, like Aeron Robotics right now is in the Gallente militia. It is part of the Gallente militia. Now, whether or not that arrangement will still be a thing when this happens, or if it'll be completely replaced, is unknown. But what it looks like is that now, Aeron Robotics could, in theory, if they wanted to, transform, or maybe even Malro could now make it so that my members could join the Gallente militia as a member of our Highset corporation, right? So the corporation's not in faction warfare, but I can allow my members to still join faction warfare as part of that corporation. And what's interesting about this is that it allows the corporation to decide who you are allowed to align with. We could actually say that you can align with the Caldari or the Gallente. Or we could say that you could only align with the Gallente. Or we could say that you could only align with the Gallente or the Mimitar. Without being, and still be part of our organization. So this is a piece of that direct enlistment thing that I don't think we had thought about before, and something that they have been talking about a lot, which is like how the corporations relate to this direct enlistment thing. So the question that I have is like, is there any practical reason why a corporation would want to restrict their members from joining a faction warfare faction? Is there any reward for allowing them to? Why not just open them up to do all 4 factions? Is it purely RP, or to allow corporations to decide on the politics for themselves? Or is there going to be some sort of thing where you get more value if you only align to one or whatever, right? It's hard to say. LP tax? Well, yes. Yeah. They could, They could add, or they have said that they could add in the ability for the corporation to gain LP on its own. For roleplay reasons, in Oops, 20 of our members joined Min-Mill, and now it can't enter Amar Highsec. Okay, so it is like, hey, y'all are now empowered to deal with your own internal politics, right? If you want to, you can just make everybody do it. But, like, here's a good example. The convocation of Empyreans was incredibly fractured on the Caldari versus, the Triglavians versus Edencom debate, right? And or even we used to have quite a few members that were very pro Caldari. So in this kind of event, it's like the brothers could be crossed, but this allows a corporation to kind of have an official policy rather than allow that to be something, allow brothers to align against brothers, which could be awkward. Satonia, okay. Here's my question for you, Satonia. You may not be able to answer me right now. Oh yeah, look at this. Hold up. Look at this. This is great. Thank you. So as we can see here, we have CCP Kestrel. CCP Kestrel is a member of the corporation CCP Games. CCP Games is a member of CCP Alliance. CCP Alliance is not in faction warfare. Okay? Under normal conditions, like if I look at Aderon, I can see like, oh look, Aderon is in faction warfare, right? And Aderon is part of this alliance, which is in faction warfare. So everybody who's in Aderon, everybody who's in the alliance is in faction warfare. However, CCP Alliance is not that way. So in theory, in the current world, no one in CCP's alliance would be allowed to be in faction warfare now. However, CCP Kestrel, it says, is a member of CCP Alliance, but is also a member of the Gallente Federation militia. That is it. That's the big thing. That's what we've been waiting for, guys. But I do have to ask this, though. By doing this, by becoming enlisted like this, are you accepting all of the restrictions of being in faction warfare? I.e., would you now, if you, since you're in the Gallente Federation, are you no longer allowed to go to Jita without being attacked? Whatever. All the restrictions are in place. I'll get attacked in Jita. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, whatever. So this doesn't necessarily solve the problem of like people don't join the Gallente because they don't want to go to Jita, but it does solve the bigger problem of I'd love to join faction warfare, but I can't. But I'd have to leave my corp/alliance. You can go to Amar now. Okay, hold on, guys. I can't just let that one go past that. He isn't at war with Amar. The Gallente and the Amar aren't at war. Guys, wait, what? Guys. I'm not okay with the Jita no-go, but I'm okay with having to relinquish my corp. But I'm not... Yeah, I'm not okay with the Jita no-go, but I'm not okay with having to relinquish my corp. I'm not sure what you mean by that, lazy. So, okay, hold on. So, this isn't a four-way war, but it is strictly two-way wars. Well, as a Gallente person, you're not allowed to go to Jita. That's always been a thing. So, okay, we'll keep phrasing this. We'll keep playing your game, Satonia. Could you go over right now in faction in Sissy? Could you take your character over to Mimitar space and finish a site for the Mimitar? I assume no. Okay. Well, that's going to make it like I was thinking about the fact that we would have to go to the Mimitar high sec area in order to do the event, but this would mean that we could do it in the Amar area too. Okay, actually, let me ask you a different question. Actually, yeah, no, that's a better question, Sitonia. Could you go and AWOX a Mimitar guy? Wait, if you saw a Mimitar guy, would you see them as purple? Hover over the swords in the top corner. Does it list Amar? It doesn't. Mutual Wars, Caldari State. But are the Mimitars still our ally? I guess not, right? Do we still see Gallente or Caldari, or do we still see Mimitar as purple? This is a real seance feel. Satonia, knock twice. Show me a sign. If you are here, give us a sign. No. For example, if I'm in my No Man's Sky roam, wait, I'm just kidding. If I'm in my nullsec roam, non-faction warfare activities with my courtmates, and I'm in Galmill, and so are they, what happens? Let me put somebody in mid-mill and go to you. Yeah, Jen, just let me know when we want to meet up. Aside. I'd recommend reading the latest world news. Yes, I mean, Satonia. Actually, good plug. When this episode is over, when we're done here in like an hour or two, we will have a premiere of that world news. Yeah, we already have like transportation from, but hold on. Yeah, the Amar and the Caldari are no longer friends. Yeah, but like, does that mean the Mimitar and the Caldari are friends? I assume that peace talk is going to fall apart. So was there an update in it? No. Vas. It has always been true that if you join Gallente militia, that you are not allowed in Caldari Highsec, which includes Jita, which is why we offer transportation. We offer free jump freighter service, or, we have jump freighter services from Jita to Hades and Jita to Fleet, because that's always been true. It's why the Caldari militia has more people than the Gallente militia. I mean, like, the idea of a 408 war is something we've talked about for a while now. But I'm just trying to understand from Satonia, if this is a proper, because it's not four-way war, it's just two separate and distinct wars. So a Minmatar militiaman and a Gallente militiaman should just see each other as neutrals, potentially. Whoever that is that's getting on Sissy right now, let me know when you're ready. Jen. And we'll teleport somewhere. We'll just do a /move me. In the meantime, though, I do want to show off some of the new skins. Let me put in an ad break. If you get an ad when I hit the ad break, I'm still trying to figure out this whole YouTube ad break thing. I wonder whether or not I'm just kind of specifying this is where an ad goes in the VOD. So if you get an ad, let me know. When you get back, let me know. But in the meantime, we're also going to be looking at the new Galnet skins. Okay. Without Gallente help, how could Minmatar possibly defend themselves from a full Amar attack? Guess we'll find out. Roughnecks 07. You got an ad? Okay, good. I mean, not good, but I mean, like, good to know. Where did the other... What? Man, I wish I wasn't so bad at naming things. Here we go. No ad? Lasted about 15 seconds. Whatever. We're going to count this as good. Okay. What's up, Michael Porter? There you go. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so we also have a new set of Galnet Streamcast skins. So these are the skins that you get for watching Twitch and getting their points, and then using the points to get a random one of these skins. I'm going to have to figure out a clever way to get these things since I can't do that anymore. But in the meantime, let's look at what they are. So here is the caracal. They have the particle effects on the sides. They have the play button. And they have the pink and silver triangle design. Excuse me. The jackdaw. The rattlesnake. The heretic. Oh, it also has the follow us on the side too. Yeah, we need a red version of this for YouTube. Stiletto. Myrmidon. Now, this done in red on a Myrmidon Navy issue would be just amazing, wouldn't it? What alliance am I in? The Convocation of Empyreans. Moving to... We can both do move me, Jen. Hold on. Let's just go to MTACO. Just type in any chat /move me and then hit enter and then select MTACO. And then we'll meet up at the Boom Keep Star. Well, it's Singularity. We can't really fight there. But I'm afraid that in any of the Empire space, we might have problems with police. So just to avoid it all, I just teleported to MTACO. And I'm just gonna go to the Keep Star and be tethered. I'm not gonna gank you on Singularity. That's against the rules anyways. Anywho. Moving right along. The Executor. I know there's a couple of people that are drooling over this one. Other people might. It's actually against the rules, man. It's fine. Besides, it's fake stuff. Hulk. Now this looks good because of the pink glow in there. Just so that we can see, like this is what it normally looks like. There's the Galnet. It's not against the rules in MTACO. Okay, fine. I think that this one's going to be quite popular. Cyberpunk skin. There you go. We can meet outside of the Paragon station. Yeah, it is against the rules unless you go to the beacons, but I'm not going to, like, whatever. We're just trying to get something done. They're being nice enough to help us out, so I appreciate that. The Venture, this one's also probably going to be a popular one. I could see some people gas huffing in this thing. Gnosis. Hold on. Stratios. Yeah. Hold up. Look at this. Look at this. He's neutral to me. He's neutral. Mimitar and Gallente are no longer allied. Well, that's odd. All right, now I need somebody to become an Amar guy so we can check that one out. Anywho. And then the Stratios. Always a good looking ship. And the Munin. I like the placement of the follow us. Oh no, I'm not showing it off well. Yeah. I got it. Who do I have to thank for making me spend my lunch monies on skins? Well, I mean, these are, you can get these for free by, wait a minute. Amar Militia Tourist. Hey, we're neutral with the Amar Militia. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm going to assume that Caldari would still be a war target. I don't think we need to necessarily demonstrate that. I might have to come back to Eve just to share in these beautiful skins. One of us, Danny. Like I said, just so again, the secret to getting these skins is anytime CCP goes live, doesn't matter if it's a chill stream or whatever on Twitch, just go there and lurk and collect the points. Hey, what's up, Marcus? How's it going, dude? Good to see you. I don't have any Amar guy here. Like, there's the Mimitar guy. Where did the Amar dude go? I figured they were both you. Well, a Caldari person would actually spawn the Navy if they came here. Also. Aha. Okay, so there's the Amar and there's the Mimitar. Are they hostile to one another? I assume that they are, right? You guys see each other as blinking orange, right? I've been biomassing the Mimitar guy when somebody else. Okay, cool. But it's flashing orange, right? Like the normal militia war? That's exciting. Can I... Direct enlistment. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's not done. It's super broken, but here's a tab that allows me to select which ones they can go into. I mean, like, I can't right now. Like I said, it's super broken, but there it is. That's so cool. Flashing orange. Amazing. So there are two wars, Gallente versus Caldari and Smart versus the Mimitar. Wow. Well, at least the Caldari don't have to say that they're on the side of slavers anymore. That's a pretty big advantage, I suppose. Oh, wait. The autocorrect turns Amar into Smart. That's awesome. Google has that reminds me. If you guys want to have some fun, there is a new bot in the Eve Online Discord, like an AI bot that has been a good source of entertainment for people that want to ask things like. Apparently, the bot believes that Amar or Aderon Robotics is one of the premier Caldari corporations, leaders in robotics manufacturing, based in Goldfield. Man, I thought I had other things to talk about on Sissy, but now my brain's been like. So I think that might be it. So we've got a little bit under 2 more hours left. Do we want to explore more about Celis Agard? Or do we want to do some hacking sites? I can't do a poll. I can't remember how to do a poll. Engage with the audience. Start a poll. Prep for war, question mark. Celis Agard. Hacking. Ask your community. Let's go! Vote. The shipcaster looks cool. It does. Why not both? I mean, I want to focus on... if I have the news, it's like a bunch of websites, right? Like, that's what I'm focusing on. We'll just do this for another minute or two. Uh-oh. Still 50-50, guys. I didn't realize that people would be so torn on the topic. It is. Yeah. Well, I guess because of that, we're just going to go to Mehator and look at it for a little bit. All right, whatever. Let's go do that. Fine. We'll do the random thing. Because you guys can't decide, so we'll just go do that. Let's go to Intaki. I don't understand the choices. Do you want me to go do hacking sites in on Tranquility, or should we continue on with the lore backstory of Celis Agard that we started last week? Have I covered what's going on with the war in Nullsec? I am not. I'm legitimately not the person to cover such things. I did see that Matterall has started to post updates again. So there are people that cover the war plenty good. When I try to talk about wars and stuff, a lot of times everybody's just like, you're just feeding the propaganda or whatever, no matter what you say. So it's like, I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of posts from him recently, like the last couple of days. So been meaning to reach out to him, see how he's doing. Anybody want to tell me? Anybody want to tell me what's going on with the war? I don't even know. Let's pretend like I don't know. Because I don't. I've been so busy focused on, the faction warfare war zone, which we could definitely still use some help with, by the way. Anybody who's interested in getting tons of good fights and also participating with some really good people and doing some cool stuff, Convocation Imperiums and Aderon Robotics is actively recruiting and are willing to help you get involved in the war zone. Even listed for Galmill? Sweet. This is the system of Orifay, which now has a Paragon Fulfillment Center. Prior to this, Orifay, which was Interbus's home system, had no stations in it, which was fun. The other day somebody asked me who B2 was, and I wasn't able to actually answer them firmly. They seem to have come out of nowhere. I do know that Imperium, a lot of people, or I've heard that a lot of people in Imperium see Frat as like the biggest threat. Enlistment is on sissy but buggy at the moment. You can join but can't leave. I mean, That checks out. Oh, is my stuff grayed out because we're in faction warfare as a group? That would make sense. Wait a minute. Hold up. Here it is. Check it out, guys. You ready? I have the perfect proof. Here's the final evidence. Ready? Is this going to work? Or is it not going to work because they're both the same client name? No? Yeah. Okay, so here we can see on Tranquility, it says at war with the Caldari and the Amar. Whereas the Caldari are at war with the Gallente and the Mimitar. The Mimitar are at war with the Amar and the Caldari. But if we go back to Singularity, and open up that same window, we'll see that the Gallente is at war with the Caldari, and that's it. Hi, Sister Kentucky, looking good? Thanks, Boosted. Well, yeah, I understand the whole, like, not wanting to leave your corp thing. I know a lot of people were interested in that. I remember thinking that Null would come in and take over Nullsec, but it seems like a small Shadow Wars within Shadow Wars. What? I guess. B2 is Volta, Blob, Brave, and now Fire. Is it B2 because it's Blob and Brave? Is that what it was? The Gallente are like the one empire that wants peace, and its backstory probably appeals to that demographic. They will never do well with war stuff when it comes to numbers. Well, I mean, I guess the Gallente kind of want peace by everybody, you know, becoming them. Just a giant federation. Null taking over low? Oh. Yeah, historically, Nullsec has been lackluster at their ability to push into faction warfare. Mechanically, those are just two different things. Yeah, the Gallente's piece are like, yeah, if everybody just agrees with us, then we could all stop fighting. Because we're the reasonable ones. Can't you tell? I can't believe the poll actually ended with at exactly 50-50. You guys are terrible. I honestly haven't seen many null groups in Lowsec. Brave and Test sort of have been doing stuff. Test has been in faction warfare. But I think Test went back to null already. I'm saying, like, historically, the few times that when nullsec comes to faction warfare, they're not great at it. And Test came in with that nullsec mentality of like denying fights is a good way of doing things, which I guess it technically gets the job done, but like I guess that really depends on what your job is to do, right? Really? We are the reasonable ones. Set man on fire. Yeah. Mensis Black only wanted peace. That's right. Peace and order. Yeah, we the Gallente, Galmil are the only ones to use force for good, unlike the others. That's right. Our force is used for the good of the Intaki, regardless of whether or not they want it. It's for their own good. You know that actually the idea of like taking control over everybody else for their own good is actually a very Jovian way of thinking of things. Siege Green kicked out my corp. Tess is usually here. Volta shows up often to fights. Deepwater Hooligans and other groups do actually show up. I just wish our little Gallente Civil War could fucking end. Shooting Nazis is fun, but like, it's starting to get in the way of doing things. Is this a tinfoil theory on Jove interaction with the Federation? No. No, it's just, but the idea of like a shadow group manipulating everybody else because they feel that they know better and they're an ascendant being. This is this idea that comes up over and over again in Jovian history. First Jovian Empire, Second Jovian Empire, the Shadow or the War of a Million Lies, the Jovian observatories, like that is just the Jovian way of doing things. Do you think CCP has plans to open up Jovian space someday? I've always thought that the opening up of Jovian space is kind of the crown jewel of the precursor crisis. Eating calm, or here we are in Intaki. It is now an Eden calm system, or it is now a high sec system with lots of facilities. Navy post, Navy installation, post, installation, infrastructure hub, outpost, stronghold, stellar observatory, blah, blah, blah. Muster point, anchorage station. Hey, Satonia, when are we going to get facilities turned on in the anchorage stations? Appreciate you coming back to Eve video. Help me catch up. Excellent. Can you check if the asteroid belts in Intaki have ore? Sure. I get it. You want me to get caught by eating calm. It's fine. Look at that, guys. Is that not intimidating right there? Hold up. That's pretty good. All right. Belts. Where Think CCP will ever release sleeper battleships to players like they did with the Marshall? You know, I always hold on to the idea of like drifter battleships should be something through the precursor technology, but I have been told that that is not something to hold your breath on, because they explicitly want the drifters to be this like extremely alien race. And while all of the ships that we pilot, like, they have been modified to have a capsuleer in them, they all at least were at some point, you know, use like normal ships. The sleeper drones are exactly that. They're just they're drones. Probably. Need more uses for the ancient relics, make it great again. I actually would really like to see a overhaul of the Cosmos missions in total. Looks like the answer's no rocks out here. Just gun stars. Wait. No, there's definitely ore there. I'm dumb. There is definitely ore there, and it's amber. So it's low-sec ore. There's low-sec ore in Intaki. OMGA. I'm not sure why it's helpful to you that there's low-sec ore in Singularity. I just noticed as I was warping away, I was like, oh, there's little pebbles out there. Is that actually the rocks? I wish show all brackets actually showed the rocks. Yeah. Too bad, you know, hopefully nobody at CCP's QA team sees that this is true, so that way they correct it. We better keep it away from the CCP QA team. Is it the Empire border anomaly? That's an ammo as well, as I think. No, Intaki is underlying this in the underlying surface. I think still a low-sec system. So it still spawns the low-sec ore, and if you search the moons still have low-sec properties. Honestly, GM, either of those are completely possible. All right. Let's go to, I guess, Wren's? So yeah, for the event though, we're going to have to go to the sites. The sites are going to spawn in all the war zone areas and those connected high-sec constellations. You're going to need to get the 3 different pieces from the 3 different sites. combine them together with those recursive computers, as well as the Noxium and the Pyrite, and then turn in the result of that. Harry, I agree with you. I think that it should be the Deathless's ships. But I've already talked about that. No. I think that they should come out with the Deathless's ship, have it be Kaldari and Mimitar, and have it had the perk of having old school jams, where if they jam you, you can't lock them back. Hello, Joe. Do you have a good Navy frig fits for the hacking event? There's a few of them that are pretty good. I like one of the things that we've been playing around with is an Imicus Navy issue that's basically fit exactly like a Mollusk or Tristan, new Tristan. But I think we're going to need to get some other fits for the event for sure. How do the new salvaging events work? We know that yet. Yeah, you'll go in there. There's a lot of rats, or there's going to be some rats. You got to kill the rats and then salvage the wrecks of the ships. You can't use salvage drones. You have to use a salvager, and you recover the pieces. But it says it doesn't seem like you're allowed to do it while they're still being defended. So in one site, you go in there, fight the rats, and hack cans. In another site, you go in there, fight the rats, and then salvage wrecks. And then in the third site, you fight the rats and then blow up the laboratory. Ride those capital ships they teased art of at FanFest of the Angels. I hate you. We're not going to get an Angel capital. I've said this for a while now. You want to know when EVE Online is in dire jeopardy. You want to know what EVE Online's dance studio is? It's Angel capitals. What are the ship requirements? The data site is T1 and faction frigates, like Navy faction frigates, so not Astero. The salvager one is T1 and faction destroyers and all frigates, and the combat one is T1 and faction battle cruisers and everything else below it. You're new to EVE. Well, first of all, make sure you use a buddy code. You can use the one down below. It'll give you a random buddy code from one of the people from the convocation. I've got plenty of guides to help you out, little and small, or little and big, short and long, I should say, mostly long. But so I would do the career agents. So if you open up your agency, which is this window here, it looks like a little triangle thingy with a diamond. And you go to agents and missions. You can go to career agents. These are like the tutorials of the game. So go to these career agents and do all 5 of them. Do all of their missions. If you want to really be efficient, start with the producer line, because the producer line is going to make you wait for a little bit. So then you want to do the other ones while you're waiting. Do the enforcer before the soldier of fortune, and read all of the descriptions, because they're trying to teach you things. And if you don't read, you're going to make mistakes. Some of them are costly. Once you've finished all of the career agents, then you can open up the career program. No! Oh, hey, look, it worked after spamming it. So here is the air career program, which will allow you to decide what you want to do. Explorer is more PvE. Or sorry, Enforcer's PvE. Explorer is exploration. Industrialist is building things. Soldier of Fortune is more PvP focused. And these are going to give you a bunch of different tasks that you can do. as well as like guides and whatever for how to do them. Figure out where you can go, what you can do, track things, put it forward, and you get a lot of little rewards for completing these tasks. So, and at any given time, you figure out what you want to do beyond this, just go ahead and start doing it, man, because it's a sandbox. All of this is just designed to keep you distracted long enough for you to figure out what you want. Yeah, Joe. And like I said, check out my YouTube, and you can always feel free to reach out to myself or the Convocation of Empyreans or pretty much anybody to seek help. Now, obviously EVE is a very cutthroat game, but we're also very newbie friendly in the fact that, like, basically EVE Online players are more than happy to go on great details about how they do what they do. Don't listen to this shill just go into Belt to mine ore forever. And sell it so you can upgrade your mining ship and tell you can have an orca, then mine for maximum chadness. Oh, man. I mine in an orca and other stuff in high sec too, and I still make pretty good money, just so you know. Come after back to EVE after 2.5 years AFK because of your video, and I wanted to thank you because you made a good because they made good changes to the game. I agree that they made good changes to the game. I appreciate that your comments about my video. That was a big piece of it because, for 2 years it was very much like, well, this is what CCP is trying to do. Let's see if they pulled it off, or whether or not they pull it off. And a lot of people doubted them. I reserved judgment, and then it turns out that they actually kind of pulled it off. Now, the question is, like, at this point, what could they fuck up? Well, I mean, honestly, this whole no event thing has been a bit of a frustration, right? Like, it goes back to that question of, well, why not just have the Guardians Gala? Like, it's been an entire month without an event, which is kind of frustrating. I can only imagine it's because of the fact that they thought that they were going to be able to start this event earlier. Hey, thanks for the sub. I am Sam. Oh yeah, Faction Warfare and low-sec PvP has been absolutely bonkersly fun. Hold on. I cannot believe my own kill board on this one. Hold on. Let me show you this, guys. You want to see why? Some people say that I'm just a shill, or I'm just pretending, or, I'm delusional, or whatever. But I want to point out I'm probably those things. But also, this is my kill board now. Like, if you want to suggest, if you're like, oh, I wish there was small gang and solo PvP in the world, look at all of these. If you say, oh, I wish there was bigger fights, oh, look, there goes an Armageddon, and some other big ships pop up here and there. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on, guys. These, like, I'm not even doing this that much. It's been wild how fun Faction Warfare has been in the last few weeks. And profitable. Let's see. So these are the ammo construction yards. Yeah, okay. I've seen these. I saw these earlier. So this is like, that's the Republic Fleet logo. I don't know if there's any better. I think none of the sites are that advanced yet. Does Faction Warfare plexing mess up your standings with other militias? No. Nope. The thing that messes up your standings with other militias is doing the missions or getting promoted. And getting promoted only because you have such a huge faction standings bonus that it causes a big derived standings change on the other side too, right? Like I just got promoted and I got, I think 1.3%. So I went from like 6.2 to 7.3 positive. So yeah, the only time you lose, if you take missions against an empire, which a lot of the faction warfare missions send you against the other empires, then that's what's going to tank your standings. Otherwise, it's just promotion, which is, like I said, just a consequence of the massive faction boost that you end up getting. Hey, Torio Torres becoming a member. Thanks for that, man. Welcome to the membership of the squad of the channel. You get all those emotes, and you get to be cool on the Discord and stuff like that. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. You too can become a member for just $1 a month. It is worth noting that when this Shadow War thing starts, whenever it does, the selection that you pick is going to be locked in, right? I don't think you're going to be able to change your selection. So make sure to choose Gallente for maximum things to do. There it is. There's the alert I can't seem to figure out how to change. Oh, where is the project? Does anybody remember where the it's ammo, Aurora, heck? No? Yes, the guinea pigs need food. That's right. Give them the likes and give me the likes and the comments and the subscriptions. Oh yeah, it's Barkrick. That's right. I legitimately don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. What's this Shadow War? Is it a PvE event? I mean, it's a PvPvE event because just going into the sites themselves will give you a suspect flag, so it's full combat inside. I'm planning to invest all my SP to fly a Jackdaw. Will I regret my investment in a year? Thanks again. Well, in a year, you'll be able to train a lot of different things. It depends on what you're wanting to do, Joe. A Jackdaw will be very good for the Abyss. It'll be very good for just general roaming around on the Destroyer level. It's not particularly great for faction warfare. It is pretty decent because it's a good combat probing. So like running around and just doing some little scrappy PvP outside of faction warfare, it could very well be. And of course, I believe there are still some pretty good fleet doctrines that use jackdaws. So, it's not a mistake to invest in. Plus, I mean, anything that you invest into jackdaws are also going to support other small missile platform ships, including the Corax and the Kestrel and other options, the Hookbill and the Hawk. Is Turner still isolated? I don't know what you mean by isolated. It was never isolated. It's actually kind of the opposite of isolated. Yeah, they are pretty fun to fly. And like I said, you can always like if you wanted to fly a jackdaw, but you also wanted to do faction warfare, the Corax is basically your standard version, your default T1 version, because it's a missile destroying platform, whatever. No. The stargates were only shut off for a few minutes. The gates are still totally online. It's just the system also now has an abundance of incoming wormhole connections, something to the tune of like 10 at any given time. So quite the opposite. Okay. The Carnival, the Hyperbola Nexus, Nefintar Runes, and Construction Site. Aikawarazu Chan, 07 to you. Again, right? I think he gave an 07 earlier. Hold on, I gotta check something real quick. Eve, does this work? Yeah. So that link right there is pretty cool because that link will redirect you to one of the random ones of the people that have accepted or put in their stuff, their link for referral codes. Because I've already gotten all my rewards, so I'll put it that way. I have asked CCP whether or not I could, get something for the fact that I keep on getting more and more stuff, and I'm already subbed to 2027, and got my 2 marshals or whatever, but haven't heard anything about that yet. So, it is what it is. What are these weird sites on your overview? Yeah. So this is a Cosmos area. So there's going to be a lot of weird sites for that reason. For alts. Well, that's my thing. Like, I have too many. That's my point. I have too many. I've gotten 2 years worth of subscriptions, which is at least another 48 people subscribing. past when I got my Marshal. So I would have earned an entire second Marshal. But instead, all I got was additional game time to the point where I'm now subbed halfway through next 2027 with that account. And it just keeps growing at this point. So that's why I've started putting other people's codes in my videos. Because, lordy. Can I turn? And go up. Yay. Manual piloting for the win. So this is the system that this is where they're building the new stellar transmuter. The Mimitar are. I want to go check out the Hyperbole Nexus. Oh yeah, this area looks cool. That's right. I came here before. I think I showed this the other day because this particle accelerator is really cool looking, especially with the tornado in the background. I think this is what reminded me of this is why we were talking about Outer Wilds the other day. Any rate. I think I'm going to do an hour of hacking, guys. Since hacking's at 51%. We'll do it. Let's see what we can get done. And oh my gosh. Whatever, man. EVE Online. There we go. Okay. I already have my route all planned out and everything. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions or whatever. We'll just hang out for a little bit. I do have some more educational videos that I'd like to come out with, you know, like work on, but I still also need to edit some of the previous videos, put those out. I was thinking about doing one on the skills of the game. But I think a guide on like how fleets work is a pretty good one for a new one. A fortress Asset is falling today. All of Ugidi will belong back to the Mimitar. Oh, that's a big one, man. Like Fortress Asset has been a pretty big thing for a very long time. Speaking of which, how's Naga doing? Oh no! God! No! Well, we're just gonna have to plex that back up if we lose it, but it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. Quick, everybody, go help Naga. Unless you're state, in which case go, I don't know, try to take you goodies. You gollies. Whatever. Slay the slavers. Let's see. There it is. I'm going to do another ad now. Ha 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 ha. Bwahaha. Where is it? Hold on. Now would be a good time to insert ads, it said. Good. Let's do that. So, at this point, I'm no longer going to attempt to speculate on when the Shadow War is going to start. All I'm going to say is that basically everything is in place that it could start at any time. Like on any given morning. They still technically have to patch Singularity or Tranquility at least once more, but I mean they can do that at any time. This is a frontline system. Screw that. So what am I doing today? Well, we've been fighting over these areas, and one of the things that frustrates me is the whole advantage system for a couple reasons. One, like in the system that I've been working in, there is 0 advantage basically on either side. So as soon as we get any advantage at all, a thing spawns in space to allow the enemy to destroy them. So we've been at 4% advantage with 2 of our sites up several times before. Meanwhile, on the other side, like they only spawn every once in a while normally. So in the sites that are systems that are pushed up, it's actually really, really, really hard to push down contested values. So like, for instance, in Naga, there's nothing really that we can do about it because we're fully pushed up, but so are they. So we need to tear them down, but the only way to really tear them down is to wait for the supply depots to come and then destroy them. But there is another way, which is running these listening posts and propaganda towers. Listening posts will lower their advantage. So in theory, if we took 100 of these things and ran them all, then we would bring their contested value all the way down to 0. Well, I mean, obviously there's adjacency bonuses and all that sort of stuff, so it's not exact, but you get the idea. So, but the problem is that those things are actually pretty valuable, right? Like we still pay quite a bit for those, which is great if you're an explorer, not so great if you need a bunch of them. So I've been meaning to go out here and hacking in the backline for a while, and this is a command operations position anyway, so we're not even looking here. So we're here to try to find some of these decoder splices or decoder packages, so that way we can put in some listening posts and take down their advantage. There are combat exploration sites to increase your advantage that can be done every 20 minutes. But but that's what I'm saying about how we can both be pushed up to 100%. And then there's no way for us to get advantage except for by lowering theirs. And the only way to lower theirs is by running supply depots and the listening posts. We're pretty good at getting the advantage up by consistently running the rendezvous points every 15 minutes. but that can only get you halfway there. It's the only thing that affects the contested value itself, the completion of complexes and battlefields. Correct. The advantage affects... Okay, so underneath the surface, there is a thing called victory points. You must accumulate, I think it's something like 3,000 victory points in order to take a system from 0 to vulnerable. What the advantage does is it affects how many victory points that you get for any given site. So you complete the site, you get the same LP, but the amount of contested change the system makes when you complete that site is affected by advantage. So if the two sides are both running the exact same sites at the exact same rate, but one side has 50% advantage, that side will eventually pull ahead when it comes to the contested value of the system. So, like I said, basically there's this strong need for these different posts. The posts themselves give 10k LP, so just running the sites themselves is worth about 10 million ISK. They take about 15 minutes to run, and they're basically like rogue drone beacons. I've been doing min-mill for a few weeks, but wrapping my head around the new stuff hasn't been obvious because the last time I did Faction Warfare was 2014. I did make a video that kind of explains all that. Both these data sites are not even Caldari. Ugh. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. There are some confusing pieces, but just realize that basically everything, all of the systems that existed before still exist, but now there's a couple of extra layers to it. The only thing that got completely removed, I would say, is the actual tier system itself, as in the overall tier system. I think individual systems still have tiers that affect the bonuses, but the idea of like having a tier for your entire race is not a thing anymore. Other than that, like, yeah, there's now Navy sites and advanced sites, but basically, if you want to think about it, every site back in the day was a advanced one, right? So it was a small advanced one, medium advanced one, large advanced one. Those were what the sites were. That's the nomenclature now. In other words, it allows in T2, and also it rewards everybody. You know, it has one pool of reward that gets distributed evenly to everybody that's eligible within the site. So the difference now is that you have two different ways that you can deviate from that. There are now Navy sites that do not allow T2 or pirate faction at all, regardless. So even a large Navy won't allow a T2, a Hawk in, for example. So that's change number one. And then there's also -5 sites, which will now reward the full value up to 5 people before that full pool is now divided evenly among the people if there's more than 5. So those are the two ways that a site can be different than they were before, but the sites as they were before are also still there. They're just called advanced ones. Yeah, listening posts reduce their advantage, where propaganda towers increase your advantage. I'm just going to finish scanning down the site. It would be so fun to run sites in a 5-person fleet. It is pretty fun. Although one of the things that you get, what we end up doing is you actually split up within the sites. And then when a -5 comes close to being complete, that person calls it out. Everybody collapses in on that one. You finish it. And then everybody goes back to their sites until the next one is ready to be popped. As Tenacious D says, that's fucking teamwork. All right. What's this about war? The Shadow War is coming. The Shadow War is a new event. And it looks like the empires are going to be changing their allegiances. So the Caldari and the Amar are no longer going to be allied, and the Mimitar and the Gallente are no longer going to be allied. Which means the Gallente and the Amar are no longer going to be at war. Likewise, the Mimitar and the Caldari are no longer going to be at war. Talking about goons probably deploying after... Oh, no. I do not... I try not to pretend like I know what goons is up to at any given time. I give my commentary when things stand out to me, but I'm good at evaluating when it comes to these kinds of things. I'm more about the systems themselves. There's a lot of data sites in this system. 4 of them are Guristas, though. Excellent. Okay, so this is a command outpost. Or what are these things called? Operation center. This is called an operation center. Operation centers can only be found inside the rearguard systems of that empire. So since we are in a Caldari rearguard system, we can find this hacking site, the Caldari Operation Center. The Caldari Operation Center's layout, or well, all of the layouts are basically the same. You have the warp in point, and the warp in point functions as one of the cardinal directions. As you can see, there's this central structure in the middle, and then there's a can in each of the cardinal directions. You know, forward, back, left, right. The one that's missing is the beacon that you land in. So the beacon is one of the cardinal directions, and the other 4 cardinal directions, or the other 3, have something, and up and down has something. Okay, so there's a total of 5 cans, right? But here's the thing. After you've successfully finished the first can, you can fail to hit cans as many times as you want. You can take as much time as you want. None of that matters. Once you've succeeded in your first can, that triggers a response from the enemy militia. Now, you can only be here, you can only hack these cans if you're in one of the militias. So as a Galmil person, I can hack these cans. If I was a pirate, wouldn't be able to hack these cans at all. It just wouldn't work. So I want to be able to hack this can to get what I want out of it because there's some very valuable loot in these. However, I don't know which cans have these loot. And after I hack the first one, the response shows up. So what we're going to do is we're going to scan all 5 cans one at a time, and we're going to see what's in them. And we're going to make a decision about which can we want the stuff out of. I'm looking for decoder packages and encoder splices. So the top one has 3 encoder splices. That's pretty good. Now, if we had multiple people here, we could actually we could be hacking multiple sites, cans at the same time if there happens to be multiple ones that are good, and then everybody can get away. Or if you bring, a ship that's capable of fighting the rats that show up, you can obviously fight the rats that show up and hack all of the cans. But today, we are neither of those things. We're just looking for a good opportunity. That last can doesn't have anything juicy in it. We're going to scan this next one. Nothing. So one of the nice things about these things is because of the fact that they are only in rearguard centers, and also they cannot be hacked by pirates or non-militiamen, what it means is that there's actually not that much contention over these sites. It's very rare for people to come in here and kill you. So, but obviously keep an eye on local and all the normal stuff. All right, so it looks like the top one with its 3 encoder splices is the top one, or is the best one. This actually looks kind of lucrative. Yeah, so each of these encoder splices, basically, just to put this into perspective, what I'm doing right here, when I hack this top can and get out of here, this can is now worth about 60 million ISK to me. Just so you know. Like, that's the numbers that we're looking at here. In general, at least so far, people have been willing to pay about 20 million per of these little devices. Now, remember, the thing that you get from them is worth about 10k LP anyways by themselves. So, yeah, there's inherent value to them there too. But people are going to want to buy them just for their value as in changing the contested value of this, or the advantage. So these cans are very hard cans, but like I said, you can actually fail them as many times as you want. So it doesn't actually matter whether or not you have good hacking skills or not. It just basically controls how often or how many times you're going to have to do it before you get lucky enough to be able to kill it. So now I go that, I loot it, I warp off. And I'm done. So this is estimating them at 41 million because it's saying that they're 13 million per unit. That's fair. Still, one can, 40 million, pretty good. Is that loot all a default hotkey? Yes, enter is now the default hotkey for loot all. Yeah, a single can for 40 million in low sec exploration is pretty good. Oh, there's a second operation center. Uh-oh, I don't know which one I came from. Well, we'll find out. Oh, this is the good one. Okay, so once again, we just decloak and start scanning all the cans. Imagine if these become popular and contested, there might be PvP in these sites. No, there absolutely can be. And I do know people that do guard the site. So if you see like an enemy militiaman in system, it's probably, or not probably, but there is a chance that it's not safe. Don't get me wrong. My point is that like it is less contested than other sites of the type. There's 2 encoder splices. Nothing there. I think the 2 encoder splices is still the best one, right? Yep. All right, where are they? So it's this one, I think. Now, I'm going to double scan, or, scan it again just to double check. You get LP for hacking or just the encoder shards? You just get the encoder shards. But, a lot of people try to figure out, it's like, well, I have all this LP. How do I get cash to start, turning LP into stuff? This is actually a good way to do it because there are people with cash that'll just buy these things from you directly, right? Oh my gosh. 2, 1. Yay. Oh! God damn it, I'm so dumb. For some reason, I thought that the repair would have helped me survive that. This is why you're supposed to do the math instead of just guess. But I don't really care. Oh, hey, look at that. And there's the rats showing up. So there you go. 2 sites. 68 million already. The only issue with these sites is usually people hack one can and leave, leaving the site still there. Yeah, it does self-destruct. Yeah, no, it's always self-destructed after a period of time. It does make it a bit unsafe to just randomly warp to them. So I'm 2 jumps. No, this is the first rearguard system that I've made it to. Now, your mileage may vary. I've gone for over an hour without finding a single Caldari operations center. But, you know, this is pretty good. Is it 30 minutes? Sounds right. Now, there's a lot of Caldari in this system, so there's a better chance that somebody's guarding it. But again, they have to actively be wanting to do that in order to make it happen. Well, even from the very beginning, it said in the description that they do, but it does take a while, and you can find, like, I even run into my own site that I've already cleared and I've like double backed on a couple times. So it definitely happens, but I don't think that that's necessarily unintended, if that makes sense. Oh, gas. I assume that the salvaging sites are going to be an anomaly because it only says that you need a probe scanner for the hacking site. I wonder if all 3 sites will provide all 3 materials, or if it is going to actually be one material per type of site. That is one that that is an assumption that I've kind of held that may or may not end up being true. It does appear that all types of sites can be found in all of the qualifying areas. Yes, the description does imply that one gives a different thing. Although, what I find really interesting is that none of the description specifies which ones get found in which place. Which I would expect. Why is that black line there? Or is this... No? It's weird. It doesn't matter how much I scoot over the camera. It still shows like a black bar there. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, Ashtarothi, is something only theory, but ever thought about why CCP now in faction warfare much value on hacking? Tinfoil something to do with the fact that Triglavians are able to hack the Photon UI? I like the idea of like Triglavians being able to hack our UI or whatever. I think that they have the value on hacking. I mean, like the simple answer is kind of probably the most correct one, which is that like they were interested in adding different components to faction warfare, like making it so there's different aspects to it besides just the combat sites. And the hacking idea is the most easily implemented, right? It is worth noting that on Sissy, we do have two new types of ore, a new Rakavine type and a new event ore, which are likely going to need to be mined in order to produce the transmuter and the shipcaster. A lot of these will be a flex for people that multi-box, but I want to see how I can do this with other pilots, like the interstellar transmuter data sites. I don't. Well, it'll be a flex for people that can team up. I mean, multi-boxers could definitely be part of that. Like, but I mean, I don't know. I look forward to having a fleet and doing some of these sites because teaming up with people is going to be a really like critical thing to do, I think. I think that hacking lends itself as a secondary activity better than like almost any other to the faction warfare concept. Right? The idea of like going into your enemy backline and hacking sites, like just like I don't know, nobody needs to explain why that makes sense, right? Like it's just intuitive. Whereas like if it was mining, well, it's like, okay, well, what are they mining? Where do they turn it in? How does this matter? How does it impact the advantage? There's a lot of questions that are a lot less straightforward in that environment than just, hey, they hack to get something, which they then use to manipulate the situation, which is kind of the highest level description of what. Oh, it's Black Flag. Hi, Black Flag. I don't know what you guys are doing, but bye, Black Flag. I'm for teaming up. That's what I want to do. I just want to provide an incentive for indie people to make these as well. Well, you need the indie people to do the final production too, right? Like there's going to be people that are buying these parts. Unlike before, you can't just go and hack and then turn in that thing that you hack. The thing that you get from hacking is basically useless to you without the other two pieces. What's up, Mike Azariah? So people are going to have to coordinate to bring these parts together so that way they can be manufactured and then turned in. So the question is that like, who gets those rewards, right? Who gets the reward crates? Probably the person with the finished product. So what are the hackers going to get? How are the industry, or, you know, like, how are all the different pieces going to get their reward? And that's something that I think is going to be at least partially solved by us. Hacking is a good activity because it's hard to scale up by spamming alts since it takes attention. Right. Yeah. And it also activities that do multiple different things at the same time, right? Like a combat site where both of you bring in two different characters and they're both combat oriented and you fight everything with those two characters, pretty straightforward. One in which you are salvaging with one character and killing with another is potentially more complex because you're having to focus on two different kinds of activities and balancing them at the same time. Now, the more that you do that kind of thing, the more, and the more you put pressure on that, the less multi-boxable it is, right? Like one of the things that makes Resource Wars really good is that everybody has their own individual piece to focus on. One person's focus is actually not very useful to another person's focus. And it is incredibly time sensitive. So you're not able to just like good enough it by bringing in more people or, you know, whatever like that. Yeah. In the case here, I think that we're going to have, you know, defenders and runners, right? Like there's going to be the people running the sites and the people out in there to kill people. Actually, these salvaging sites explicitly say that the salvage wrecks cannot be salvage droned. You must use a salvage module on them to salvage them. And everybody inside is going to have a suspect flag. So it's going to be open conflict inside. Which, by the way, this is the first event that has sites in HiSec that actually is ballsy enough to give you a suspect flag just by going in. We haven't ever had that in an event before. So there is no safe way to run this event, per se. And, I mean, like, a lot of people are going to want to do it in ships that aren't going to be capable of taking on the rats, probably, too. Porpoise is kind of hilarious as a salvager because of the tractor beam range, and you can use it to snag contested wrecks from actual PvP battlefield. Yes, that's true. Aegis Capital Shipyard. Hunting pirates in the sites will now be a thing. Absolutely. And with the changes to faction warfare, now there's a lot less restrictions on where you can go in HiSec, too. Galmill can no longer... Excuse me. Galmill may not be able to buy in Jita still, but they will be able to buy in Amar. And moving on. Well, you know me. I like having the MR open back up to me. Yeah, I know. That's really big, isn't it? Shame Amar is so far away. Well, I mean, it used to be closer, but it was only closer through a route. Think about it this way. The route that used to make Amar closer was through enemy territory. So we just blocked out that route. The other direction's fine. Although I think there's a pair of Edencom systems back to back, which is really, 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 really annoying. You know what else is annoying? Intaki being a Edencom system. Wormhole trucking is much more of a thing for faction warfare peeps if you really want to do it with a faction warfare tune. That's true. But I mean, like, thanks to the restrictions that are on, especially Galmill, Wait, now Galmil's the only one that's fucked by not having Jita. God damn it. Whatever. I kind of like being part of the militia where people are there in spite of the fact that they have to give up a big advantage to be part of it. No, Dodixie is a good second option. The host is going to need to kill a lot of drones in Patron. Or hear me out. We could go full war, and I could begin the process of destroying every piece of Edencom facility in both Pamene and in Taki every single day. I almost chose freedom, but then I was like, trade hub. Well, like I said, we do free. We offer jump freighter services to Jita, from Jita to both Hadales and Fleet. We don't actually offer it right now. Galmil does. That seems like a lot of work. What does? Using a jump freighter service? Nah, it's easy. Tank my standings? Dude, it doesn't tank your standings, man. I've lived off of Heck and Wrens for years. Yeah, exactly. Heck and Wrens are fine. Oh, killing Edencom rats every day. It is a lot of work. But you know what? Some causes are worth it. No standings decrease. Then why have we not been shooting Edencom spies? Wait. No, you get standings decrease with Edencom. Right, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant faction warfare standings. This idea that faction warfare tanks your standings is one of the is like I gave a knee-jerk reaction, my bad. Let's turn on desktop audio now. Just so you guys don't have silence when I'm not talking. Still, Edencom standings is meh if you just destroy all their stuff. Watch, though. We're going to do that, and then immediately they're going to come out with something that is an advantage if you have Edencom standings. Right? Like, as soon as we're like, well, we're 10.0 trig, -8 with the Edencom. All done. They're like, well, now you need at least 1.0 with Edencom to be able to go into fortress systems. Ha! And it's like, oh. Okay. Well, this is more like it. Not finding any of those sites. This is closer to what I expect most of the time. Why not live the easy life and get standings with both? I'm wondering why it took so long. Kill some drones from the water. The water's fine. I agree. Although I will have to kill more than a few rogue drones to be able to fix my problem. Time to do invasions again. You're a trig system. You're a trig system. Oh man, anything for another chance to try to go after Fleet and make it go liminal. I am going to remind you guys at this time to help feed the guinea pigs with your likes, comments, and subscriptions, guys. If you haven't yet, now's the time to like the video. If you don't feel like I've done anything that's worth liking yet, go ahead and ask me a question. I'll see if I can answer it, and then you can like that. Hey, look, a boo book. That is the very first time I've ever seen a boo book in the wild. Huh. See, you don't need Edencom standings if you destroy all of Edencom. Cooking with fire right there. Besides, as we know, I've been saying this for years, and y'all been bullshitting me and saying that I'm bullshitting you or whatever. But you know what? Turns out Edencom is just an Amar plot, dudes. That's what the world news, or that's what the New Eden News says. Turns out it's just a bunch of Amarian spies. Even the Caldari angle of it that I thought was there wasn't even that. That still was just more Amarian shenanigans. Edencom is an Amarian plot. Kashia Valkanir is a plant. Sub-Inquisitor is a spy. Just saying. I also find it interesting that Zakuni is assassinating somebody connected to AG-12 in the assassination that the Inquisitors are looking into in Sine Wave Alpha and Sine Wave Omega is of a guy connected to AG-12. I wonder if we're going to find out more about Archive K. Because I thought Archive K was surely connection between Amar and Caldari. But it seems to be a lot deeper than that. If we'll ever get T2 Edencom ships and more T2 or even T3 trick ships. I do like the idea of a T3 subsystem for existing trick ships. Or sorry, for existing T3 ships. Like I want a Proteus that can use a disintegrator with a disintegrator subsystem. But T2 Edencom ships would be great, but all I want and all I've ever wanted is a T2 Drekovic command ship. Amar have gotten really good at shady deals and subversion lately. They used to be pretty direct and overt until Jamil was lost. Well, I mean, Caddis is a very shrewd woman. Jamil was a lot more blunt. That's true. Yeah, Marauder Leshak, for sure. I'd like to see an ammo for Edencom ships that is a single target. Yeah, I've heard that one a lot too. I'm not sure if I'm all the way there yet when it comes to buying into that. I think that at the very least what we should do is you know what I really think? I think that they should make major conduits easier to spawn or consistently spawn in Triglavian minor victories. So that way, as well as the pro trig ones and the other ones, the T2 sites, the ones that actually take a fleet to do. Because, you know, minor conduits could eventually be, or could easily be botted or whatever, but like, I want to be able to run invasion sites again. And like an actual fleet of it. And the problem with T2 sites is that, or the level 2 sites is that, you know, you do need a fleet together to do it. So you're not going to get your fleet together just to run one site and then have to go like, what, hunt down another one? So, you know, that's one of the reasons why we don't run them anymore. So if they are runnable again, like think about how many things that would fix. It would give us structured fleet PvE again, and it would give us DDLP again. So now the Mimesis implants and Edencom ships, as well as Edencom ammo, becomes more reasonable to buy now because you can get them from the DDLP store, and DDLP isn't worth its weight in gold anymore because people can run the sites again. And I say this as somebody who has a lot of DDLP and therefore made a lot of money off of that change. I still would rather the sites back. And to be clear, they are there. It's just they no longer respawn guaranteed in the same system. Therefore, they're effectively not able to be like done as a fleet activity in the same way. Marauder Leshak sounds impossible to balance. Whatever. I like that's just how my solution. Who cares? It doesn't need to be balanced. What are you talking about? I'm still holding out for the Drifter battleship to come out and have the T2 Drifter battleship be the Black Ops. And the Drifter cruiser be the Recon. Seems to fit for me. Hey, I was just complaining, and now I've got 2 more operation centers. 3 operation centers. Let's hope I don't get killed. All right. What is all out there? Eh. You have to move fast in this site anyway, so it'll be hard to kill me. All right, Mike. 07 to you. Mike flies the magic school bus that brings ships to other people, to new bros in all the newbie systems. So if you ever see Mike Azariah in game, give him a hi, 07, and preferably some sort of donation to the cause. Thanks for dropping by, man. Hey, a decoder package. Oops. Okay, so there's 1 decoder package so far. Oh, 2 encoder splices. Even though I like decoder packages more right now, I'm going to go for this. And this one is FEJ. Oof. I hate these 90s, man. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Damn it! I needed it to not be a suppressor. Oh, well. Wait, was that successful? It was. FEJ complete. Hey, look, there's a Sino up. I'm not getting the poll. The poll's done. If it's still going on, I was supposed to shut that off. They should give us subcap Doomsday on a drifter ship. There are some fun things that they could do with the drifter ship if they introduced them, but they'd be pretty... What? Oh, is that not the one I... Is that the one I just went to? So Fut? I went to Fut first, not Fedge. Fut, Fedge, and Uffle. We were talking about whether or not I should spend the rest of the time talking about the Celis Agard backstory or doing the hacking in HiSec, or hacking in Faction Warfare. So we instead ran around in Singularity for a little while, and now I decided to do some hacking in the Faction Warfare. One encoder splice. One thing I do want to do, guys, is go back through the last couple of years of history and look at Pochfin and what the different Triglavian groups have been doing in Pochfin. Because I think, and we were looking at it the other night, I think that we could actually suss out a little bit about what's been going on. Like, they're not just random attacks. There are clearly like an ongoing campaign going on in different places, in different ways. Especially between Svarog and Velez, who already didn't like each other. Man, this one sucks, huh? I think this was the only good one up here. Yep, one splice. We'll get this one splice, and then we'll head over to Uffle, OFL. Whatever. $117 million estimated so far. Is this on? Is what on Sissy? What I'm doing right now is on Tranquility. We are on Tranquility right now. Decoder package. It's been that left one the last 2 or 3 sites. Yep, here we go, decoder package. And then we'll probably just head home because we've got about 10 minutes left. Just double checking my scan. Yep. And the decoder packages should be more valuable because that helps you tear down their standings. Or their advantage, which you can't really do either other ways. Like you can getting your own advantage. All right, and away we go. That one's worth 30 million estimated. So 150 million estimated in about an hour. Or I could use these things to get 8% more advantage for my team, or and or 1% advantage for the enemy team. Pretty good. So as we're wrapping things up, let's just remember that once this stream is over, it will lead directly into the premiere of the World News article, the latest New Eden News article that's come out about the spying stuff. Other than that, I should be back tomorrow. I don't know whether or not we're going to have an event to talk about or what. I should have... I'm thinking about having a topic available. We'll either, again, talk about the Celis Agard stuff, or I was thinking about doing a guide on fleets. But we'll have to see how it works out. I'm not 100% sure. Anybody who's interested in swaying my opinion, especially you sponsors, I do have a sponsors channel in Discord where I have been talking with people. Feel free to manipulate my opinions and control what it is that I go over. Sponsorship, the second best ship. I think that sponsorship would be the third best ship, right? Because it goes championship, friendship, sponsorship, maybe. Or maybe I should be putting sponsorship at the top. Maybe I should go sponsorship, championship, friendship, because me not putting it at the top is the reason why I don't have it. No. I do have sponsors. You guys, my patrons and members. And you guys rock, by the way. I thought friendship was the best. Eve without friends is sad. The championship. In response to claims that the friend ship is the best ship in New Eden, the Independent Gaming Commission released this model of a Marshall-class Concorde battleship to affirm the position of the championship as the best ship in New Eden. I think that the best ship in New Eden is Akimaka Saraki and Katis the First. No. Maybe. Oh, no. Akamaka Saraki and Haika Torigo. That's who we're going to ship. They look good together. And I can't pronounce either of their names correctly. Dirty. Come on. That high quality content. Worth your likes. Can they hold tank? The championship? Well, Saraki and Torigo are both Caldari, so no? All right, guys. Like I said, if you want to come join us in Faction Warfare, the Convocation of Empyreans is hiring, both in Faction Warfare and in standard EVE Online HiSec, where we are here to maximize player engagement with EVE Online. So try to check that out. Otherwise, I do want to thank my sponsors and link this, my Patreon, in the event that you want to support me. I do have a new sponsor, which is Tgen Tgen. Thank you so much for that. But I also would like to thank my sponsors, Abyssus, Aikawarazu Chan, Arydanika the Queen, BlackRoseNoble, Dajat Lemmont, Drake, GuldanAgeStories, J. Kuhn, LM1, Malak Starfire, Midnight Space Monkey, Not Just Fun, Seeds of Plenty, Nolen with No Eyes, Syliana Vel'ash, Tgen Tgen, Nephilim, Grendel, Zaul Nex, as well as Evo Elite, Merc Utan, and Rid, my immortal patrons. Thank you all so much. Big 07 to you. And thank you guys for coming and checking out the stream, watching it, sharing it, liking it, all of the positive things that people have been saying. We're all in this together. And you know what? I can tell you this right now. Having been part of this whole thing, having been playing this game for a long time, having been in this community for a long time, I'm telling you, we're making a difference, guys. People, the attitude of the player base, the knowledge of the player base, the competency of the player base, we are getting better. We are making things better here, guys. And I couldn't do it without each and every one of you and your support and help. And if none of that matters, just think of the guinea pigs. Think of the guinea pigs. When you give your like and your comment, just think of the guinea pigs. That's all I ask. Anyway, I have been Ash Rothy. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put EVE into context for you, my fellow Empyreans. Like I said, thank you guys so much for coming. We will be back, should be back tomorrow for more stuff. Obviously, the event as soon as possible. Doing more stuff with Faction Warfare. Teaching more concepts about EVE. World news, whatever happens to be the big thing. In the meantime, you can probably find me in the war zone trying to save Nagamenon or take it back, whichever one ends up being the case. Yeah. Got your channel from Rookie channel. I'm one of the old guys helping out in there. Like the content. Thank you. Hey, we need more of us old timers up there in Rookie chat actually giving good answers and not being bitter vet jerks. All right. Well, like I said, this should actually lead directly into the premiere. I don't know how that works. I don't know how this works, man. Can anybody... Hey, it's SpoonS! How does this work where I have a premiere that it goes to? I do have it go to a premiere, right? Wait. Redirects allows you to keep viewers engaged, adds a live stream or premiere for people to watch after yours ends. If you like Rookie Chat, join ISD. I'm not probably. They've been trying to get me to join ISD for quite some time. All right. Let's see. We got 4 minutes left, so anything. Oh, check out my game, Playton. It's free. It's fun. It's a puzzle game. And if you need a new account, make sure to use this link here. It will give you a random... one of our members' links for you to be able to use as a buddy code. Am I hiring? Yes, Convocation of Empyreans is aggressively hiring on all levels. If you're talking about my game development work, I'd love to work with somebody else when it comes to game development. But right now, my priority has been more on these streams than anything else. That's for sure. All right. Is there anything else? We've only got 3 minutes left. I think that might be it. I do want to thank Arydanika for all of her support, as always, and everybody else. I do want to give a special shout out today to Nosferatu, also known as Loose Halo, who's been in chat today. He's been in chat a lot. He's been a really big advocate of mine for a long time, and been very helpful to me, both in keeping motivated and also just, you know, giving me things to talk about and things to work on. So, but he comes and goes, but recently he's come back, and every time he's around, it makes things a lot easier and a lot more fun for me. So I appreciate you being around, dude. And thanks for all the help and your, you know, participation in chat. 07 to you, Loose Halo. But on that note, like I said, without further ado, I am an Ashrothi, the voice of New Eden. And until next time, I'll see you in space. This should send us to the premiere. No promises. If it doesn't, make sure to go there yourself. Make sure to like it. Make sure to comment on it. Give it all that good, you know, interaction, YouTube-ness. It makes a huge difference. Like, man, I cannot explain how big of a difference a video that gets liked versus not liked, or gets commented on versus not commented on, it is striking. Either way, have a good one. 07. Until next time, I'll see you in space.
Bring on the wreck. every city